Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, First Witness. Today we're going to get into the tribulation. We've discussed it probably on this channel, but again, it's a hot topic in some people's eyes because they know it's coming. You can feel it, it's coming very soon. And it says here in Matthew 24:21, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor shall ever be." So, I mean, obviously, we as a people have recent memory of how bad World War II was. It's gonna eclipse that. It's gonna be well beyond what even that was, and that was pretty brutal. Lots of people lost their lives, countries, invading countries, people moving around, people dying, but some places, a lot of places were untouched. So this is the whole world. It's going to be greater than anything ever witnessed. The amount of stuff that's coming down the pipe, and the Father's doing this because He needs His people to come to a decision, to make a choice, to choose the Father, which I've been talking about as coming as a comforter, and in the Bible He is called the Comforter. It is a person, a fleshy person that you will be able to be with and talk to, which most people don't even understand that, can't wrap their heads around actually being with the Father, looking at Him and looking at a normal person and seeing He is Jesus, He is Emmanuel in this person. He is the Father. I and the Father are one. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So when Jesus did say to His disciples, another shall come, they were upset. Granted, they walked with Him for 3 years. They thought certain things were going to happen, and He left them. And they were very upset by this, but they knew that they didn't know, like, time-wise how long it was going to take, but they knew the time was near. The Father has revealed Himself in a fleshy body. And the Father was also like Moses and Abraham, but it wasn't realized by any group of people that was actual Father in the flesh. But He says, "I was in the world, and the world knew me not." So when Emmanuel says, "You will know me because Moses spoke of me and wrote of me," again, He shall raise up a prophet in the last day. So, like unto Moses, which is what Emmanuel's also saying. There's another prophet that will come. So, the Father is tightening the screws right now, and it's going to be bad because it has to be bad. And it'll be so scary because the Father wants you to do His work. I mean, Emmanuel Himself, Jesus, didn't sit around. He wasn't like the Pharisees. He walked around, He healed people, He talked to people, and He brought along with Him disciples, and yes, He fed them and all these things, but He was doing works constantly. So there was no, like, the Pharisees made an idol out of the Sabbath, and I did that myself at one time, where I would get all these things prepared for the Sabbath, and then basically make the Sabbath almost like a Christmas, where I wasn't gathering presents and putting up a tree, but I was doing like the same mindset of preparing all my food and my candles and my things, and thinking about the Sabbath, and placing everything about the Sabbath. And then to be as obedient as I could, often didn't even leave the house. So, but this is not what the Father wants. He wants you to move around. He wants you to be with people. He wants you to commune with fellow Israel people, children of Israel, because he is the Father of Israel. And through his Son of Israel, which is the Father in flesh, you have to hear his words. My sheep know my voice, so you will gather to him. But that's, like I said, it just has to be bad, because if you have that other choice, if there's something else, and you say, oh, I don't need to do that right now. I'm busy doing this. I've got a job. I got money. I got a house. And as long as these things exist, you have another option. You're freed up from making that hard choice to leave friends, family, land, job, money, inheritances, wealth stored up, precious jewelry and furniture that you might have saved for centuries. You have to leave all of that, and some people aren't. But that is the sacrifice that was made and shown to you through Emmanuel, which was the Father. But the Father used Emmanuel as the sign of what's to come in the last days. So to wrap up all the last 7 days of creation and to finish this work is going to cause a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. But through this pain and suffering, you are purged, you're cleansed, because you aren't living that world that you're in two different places. The Father, a kingdom divided cannot stand. So you can't have one foot in the world and one foot in trying to be righteous. Which right now the Father's giving you mercy as far as you can be in the world. You're not getting judged right now, but that time is coming to an end, and that's when people have to separate themselves from their families, because one will say, don't go to him, don't listen to him, he's the Antichrist, or he's a devil, or Satan. And these are all false things. The Father, only he can bring back his word and his spirit into the world. And some have made another God. They sing songs to another God. And this reality is going to hit people really hard, and most people won't be able to last. And so this video is almost like a post for the future. You won't want to hear what I have to say, but when the future does come and the world is in Great Tribulation, you will be coming back to this channel to listen to what I have to say and what Adam has to say to you guys, because you have nowhere else to turn. What made you upset? Because you had other options, but if you realize that the rapture isn't going to happen, or what they're calling the anti-guy actually makes more sense than anything you've ever been taught. And because it is pure truth, it is the spirit of truth revealed in a temple, which is the body. And once you know this, this is where it's so painful, because a lot of people are going to say you're crazy, or you're stupid, or he's a liar, he's false, and you will have to battle that. And I'm sure it's going to, according to the Bible, it's going to get bloody. I mean, some people are crazy. They're going to kill their own babies. They're going to dash their heads on rocks because they don't want them to hear the words of the Comforter. They say it's evil. I had this just because, the thought of just turning it a little bit makes everything askew. And that's the Father with his hands on this world, turning it, twisting it to do his will, because that is the only will there is, and to wake you up, to purge you of your darkness that you've been asleep for the last 3,000 years. Israel has been dispersed and among all the nations, and now the Father is calling you back out of the nations to be his peculiar people, to be a set apart people, to teach this truth and bring the nation of Israel upon the whole world. It's not that little sliver over there in the Middle East. That's part of what's going to happen for the end times, but there's going to be a lot of people fighting over that little piece of land over there. And yes, eventually the Father will be over there, because that's where the tree of life is also going to be. But he's pulling all his people from all the nations. He's calling them from every corner of the world to separate yourself. So people in Japan, China, the Philippines, Australia, Mexico, Brazil, from everywhere, all countries. And then some are going to hear the call, hear the words of the Comforter, my sheep know my voice, and some aren't. And those are the goats. And the sheep and the goats, the wheat and the tare, coexist together until the Father says it's time, and then you are purged, you're separated from that which is sinful, that which denies the Father in flesh, in spirit. All right, everybody, take care. Bye.